As an online business owner for the last 11 years, creating content on YouTube and on different blogging platforms and all the social medias, I have had honestly so much fun observing the unfolding of AI over the last 3 years, 4 years, with the like the public launch of ChatGPT back in November 2022, I believe it was. And I'm kind of a nerd. I've been interneting for, you know, 30 years, I guess, at this point. And I had a GeoCities website back in 1996. It was on the Sunset Strip. I was in eighth grade and I taught myself HTML. And, I had those goofy little GIFs or GIFs. Is it GIF or GIF? Like under construction things on my site, like everyone else did. At least everyone my age. There weren't very many of us my age that were making websites like that. But I've been here on the internet observing and contributing to it for 30 years. And right now, there's so much discussion about AI and the future of AI, the future of the world, really, as it pertains to AI. I'm recording this on February 16th, 2026, and I just want to have I want to share the way I think of this is like I just want to transparently think out loud about AI as it pertains to what I see and what I'm experiencing, what I'm doing in my business. So let me back up and explain a little bit about why I have opinions on this and why it matters to me. So like I mentioned, I've had an online business for 11 years. I've been on YouTube for 11 years. Not on this channel, but I am basically in marketing. You know what I mean? Like I have an online business. I help solo small business owners make videos, grow their audience to generate consistent revenue in their businesses, to, essentially reach people, find leads, make sales for their programs, their courses, their services, and so on and so forth, right? So much of what I do as a business owner is marketing, and essentially what I'm helping other people do is marketing, teaching them, guiding them, coaching them, and that kind of thing. Very specifically, video marketing, long form content on YouTube as a main platform. That is kind of my niche. So I'm looking at this from a marketing perspective, from an online business perspective, a course creator, membership site owner, digital product, digital program creator kind of bubble, if you will. That's the perspective that I'm coming from on this. And the reason why I have all these thoughts going on in my head that I just want to get out loud, I just want to share out loud, is because the day, just about to the day that the Something Big is Happening article from Matt Schumer came out, is the day that I spent 10 minutes building an app for my membership with Base 44. Literally in 10 minutes, I went from not having an app, a piece of software, to having an app where I could embed my chatbots and workflows that I created with MindPal, almost to the day that this article came out. And so when I saw this headline on like YouTube, on Twitter, on all the socials, when I saw this headline, Something Big is Happening, I was like, well, yeah, obviously something really big is happening, because I sat here and went, oh my gosh, I just created an app in 10 minutes. Yes, I agree. Something big is happening. I used to be a freelance web designer. So like I mentioned, I taught myself HTML. I taught myself CSS. I taught myself WordPress. The coding and the programming and the like line by line debugging of the way things show up in Internet Explorer 6. oh my gosh, boy, are you all so fortunate to have missed out on Internet Explorer 6. Unless you were here for that, let me know in the comments. To be able to just vibe code all of that. Yes, something big is happening. So I did read this article. I noticed that there's a lot of discourse on Twitter and threads and all the places about like whether this was written by AI, whether he's right about some of the things that he is saying. And I think one thing that's really interesting, I like, again, this is me transparently thinking out loud about AI. In my experience, from my perspective of me using AI, seeing what other people are doing with I think he's spot on in the whole concept of people thinking, well, this isn't that big of a deal because I've tried AI and it's not that good. And I'm still seeing comments from people saying, it can't even spell strawberry and stuff like that. Meanwhile, the person who wrote this article is saying, I'm a programmer and I'm no longer programming. I'm just telling the app what I want to change and do. It doesn't matter that your chat GPT can't spell strawberry. Like, that's a weird little quirk. I don't understand it. I don't know why. It used to not even be able to do math, right? And now AI is improving itself. Now, back to the whole vibe coding thing. This is something that I want to mention. And I guess this is why when I saw the headline, something big is happening, I was like, yeah, of course, obviously. For me, the something big is happening moment happened when I created a web app, basically, for my membership. I've had my membership program, Video Brand Academy, for several years now, over 5 years. And it's grown little by little. I've had different courses and programs that are just one-off things as well, plus working with clients and doing coaching and other kind of revenue streams in there as well. And there's a difference between selling a digital product, course, or program where it's like, here's the info, here's the step-by-step guide, and selling a piece of software that gets to the same desired result that the information does. You know what I'm saying? So when it took me literally 10 minutes to go from zero to web app, a functioning web app, using tools that my clients could get results faster with, it really genuinely blew my mind, because all of a sudden I could see how, there's a lot of talk about courses are dead and the course bubble has burst. And I published a video on the Video Brand Infusion podcast a couple weeks ago. If you want to look that up, you can. I don't think courses are dead. I think they're just different. But in 10 minutes, I could see how the course economy will unravel. And I don't mean to say that like I'm not a fear monger or anything like that. What I mean is, like I said, courses aren't dead. They're just different. Here's what I could see, or how I could see it unraveling for me, and then changing, evolving into something different. If I can create a piece of software that does things for you with a little bit of information and guidance on how to use the software, versus giving you a ton of information and a little bit of, here's a few bots to help you along the way. They both get you to the same result, the same desired result. So Video Brand Academy is where I help solo online business owners grow your audience with ease and generate consistent revenue in your business. So if I could give you a piece of software and a little bit of information about how to use the software to get to that result, versus giving you a bunch of information that you have to consume and learn and do the steps on your own to get to that result, which one would you choose? Which one do you think is an easier sell? One of them is going to get you to the desired result faster. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that the software option might be an easier sell than the information option. Now, I don't think it's that stark of a contrast. It's not like, oh, let me use a robot versus let me learn the information. I think if my clients and students are anything like me, you want to learn. You want to learn the information. You want to know what you're doing so you have that confidence and clarity. And so this is why I say courses aren't dead, they're just different. But in a world where you can create a piece of software in 10 minutes that gets people to the same desired result that your course or program does, it's kind of mind-boggling how we can't just ignore that. Or else, yes, like your course economy bubble is going to burst. Because there's going to be so many other solutions out there to get that result faster, easier, and maybe even better results. So as the person in my business whose job it is to market the business, to sell what I sell, I started to go, wait a minute, how do I market this? How do I position software? I'm not a SaaSpreneur. Is it different? Is it different than selling a course or a program or an information product? Is it more like selling a physical product? Like, I don't know. It's a whole new kind of deep end from a sales perspective, because based on what I built, and I've spent way more than 10 minutes after that kind of refining it, adding to it, making it look better, making it do more of what I had envisioned. And there's still more to be done, but I have some beta users in it from my membership kind of testing it out for right now. And I'm really happy with it. I'm using base 44. I'm on, I think, the builder plan, the $50 a month plan, which gives you 250 credits. This is just for context, okay? Gives you 250 credits, like AI building credits. And I haven't even cracked 200. Yeah, so I had like a functioning app at like 40 credits in. I was like, oh, I could launch this right now. I've just spent more time adding to it, polishing it up and things like that. And I have more to do with it. But now, as I'm looking at my own offers for my business, for Video Brand Academy, for courses and programs, I'm looking at the sales page going, how do I talk about this, the Video Brand Toolkit on the sales page for the membership when the membership, deliverables are very, weekly live coaching calls, information, community, accountability, templates, the video brand roadmap. It's like there's some kind of digital downloadables and live calls and a lot of course content, like information content. So how do I position that stuff in the offer alongside a piece of software? Do they even go alongside each other? Is one of them the featured thing and the other's like a bonus? Because the way that I've been using my workflows and AI bots in the membership has been kind of like a bonus. As I am recording this, a year ago, I didn't have bots. I didn't have bots in my business. Are you kidding me? I don't know how to do that. I knew how to create custom GPTs. And then I was introduced to MindPal and, I started basically taking what I know about what I do, which is YouTube, long form content, video marketing, basically taking what was in my brain and programming it into chatbots and workflows that my clients and customers and students could use on their own. That was only just a year ago. And my membership is hosted on Kajabi. And so I've embedded those things into Kajabi lessons so that they're kind of like behind a paywall and accessible alongside my course and community and stuff like that. But this base 44 thing is a whole other ball of wax. It's a whole standalone piece of software. And so just going from like, oh, I know how to make a custom GPT, all the way to having my own what are essentially GPTs, but they use Gemini and ChatGPT and Claude and, whatever LLM I decide that day when I'm programming it. The speed at which I went all the way from I'm a proficient user of ChatGPT to I now have my own web app. It's absolutely wild. And like I said, now as the person doing the selling in my business, I'm like, how do I position this? How does that even work? How does it work? I don't know. Like, it's a whole new thing to think about in terms of like crafting an irresistible offer, crafting an offer that people want and people are willing to pay for. For me personally, I think there's going to be a lot of trial and error, a lot of experimentation. And, for me, I find it very fun and interesting and intriguing to do all of that. But not everyone is like as big of a nerd as I am. And so I think this is why I could instantly see how the course economy could unravel for people. And I don't think the answer to preventing that for you, if you're a course creator, digital product, membership site owner, I don't think the answer or the antidote to the unraveling is simply make bots for your clients and students or make custom GPTs or whatever. Like, I think there's a really like sort of deep shift happening, or that will happen, with how the people that we're serving will expect to learn and get the results that they're paying you to help them get. I think it's going to end up being deeper than just, do you have a custom GPT, or why would I buy this from you? I can just have ChatGPT help me. So this video wasn't intended to have any big solutions or answers. Probably just I'm asking more questions than I have answers, because I just wanted to kind of think out loud. And I think YouTube is the best place to do that. Now, outside of the world of online business and digital marketing and all of that, this Something Big is Happening article really hit the internet hard, kind of hit the internet out of nowhere. I remember, Y2K. I remember Y2K and people like really, truly, honestly believing and spreading word that everything is going to crash. Everything you know about the world as it is right now is going to come to an end at 12 a.m. on January 1st, 2000, because the computers aren't going to know what to do. And it seems so silly now to think about that. But genuinely, it wasn't just like, oh, we don't know what's going to happen with the computers. No, it was like, no, the world's going dark. That was the level of fear being put out there. And at the same time, there are people saying, no, that's probably not the way it's going to happen. It's probably going to be fine. And you know what? It was fine. I've seen people say, look, all of the things that people have said in the past were going to eliminate jobs, like the internet, for example, actually ended up creating jobs. And I believe in humans. I believe in humans and their humanness. And I think being simply aware and observant is one of the smartest things that we can always be doing at all times. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let me know. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have other points? I have more thoughts on this for sure, and I'm positive I will in the future as well. So I'll see you next time.